Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another travel conversation on the Travel Collective. I am super excited to talk to Shaunda. She's in Las Vegas, where some of you may know I am as well. And so to kick it off, just a funny story. The very first time I came to Las Vegas as a kid, my parents brought me here on a summer vacation. We lived in the Midwest, this was like a big deal. And I don't know. It was at that age of my life where I was like, showgirls, girls walking around. It just like bothered me. I don't know. So I gave my mom a horrible time. Like, why would you bring me to this city and these ladies? And I don't know. I just wasn't ready for all of it. She would be rolling over to know that I moved here. So I was like, I think about that often, but there's so many sides to Las Vegas. It's not all just glitz, glamour, and scantily clad people. So, welcome, Shaunda.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I love that story because it's so true. One of the things I always say, and it's the tagline of my book, is there's the Vegas you think you know, and then there's this. And I love to be able to present that other side of Vegas that I feel like tourists rarely get to know
Yes.
and share that this with the exclamation part at the end of it, because there's something here for everyone, truly.
Yes, exactly. So, how long have you been living in Vegas? Because you live in Vegas too now, right?
Yes, we are neighbors. We both live in the Vegas Valley. So, yep, I live in Las Vegas and we've been here this is our third year living in the city. However, for about 20 years, this has been our destination of choice. So, my husband and I would just always travel here a few times a year. And maybe about halfway through, we were just like, we could just, I think he said, we could just live here. And like, because we come here so much. And so we made the decision that when he retired and our youngest son got to college, that we would make this our home. And so I kept, I was so excited this was going to happen. Then, like you mentioned, the pandemic happened. I was like, oh, this is
Yes.
never going to happen. My dream's never going to happen. So we didn't know kind of what the world was going to look like after that. And right after that, like in 2021, we came here to see Earth, Wind, and Fire in concert,
Oh,
which was,
cool. What a
yeah, it
great
was so
show.
cool. It was a great show. And now I love them even more because they're kind of endearing to me because we came here for that purpose and ended up finding a house and buying it. It wasn't even planned, but we'd started coming here to and looking at houses. That was just part of our routine when we came here, and it just became a fun part of the routine. It wasn't even, I don't know, I just didn't think like we're going to land one. I just thought we'd come here and look at houses. And I even got my real estate license here in the
Oh.
city, or not in the city, in the state, in the state of Nevada. I got my real estate license here. And so we came, we looked, and we found a house, and we were like, this is the one. So it was all, I always attribute to that Earth, Wind, and Fire concert moment. So,
Yes. Oh, that's fabulous. And that's what I love. I think Las Vegas, besides being a great place to, come as a visitor, it's always changing. There's always something new to do. So living here now, I think I like that. I like that on any given day, there's a new show to see, a new place to
right.
go. So,
That's my favorite part too. And I say it's just like true to who I am. It's in my blood. I come from a family of entertainers. My grandparents were musicians. My dad was a musician. My great grandmother was an esteemed caterer, which I
oh,
also have
wow.
a food blog, kind of, and it's kind of in dedication to her. But I come from a family of like caterers and entertainers, which is everything Las Vegas, food, entertainment. So, and I'm such a social person. We're the people the locals that live here that love to hang out on the strip, whether, especially during the touristy times and the big
Yes.
events, we love to be down there when it's the hustle and bustle. We just, get thrills off of all of that. So I just feel like Las Vegas was just meant for me, just given kind of the heritage and, the story of, my ancestors and where I came from.
Yeah, it's a super fun city to be honest. And I think that there's just a lot to find here, but what are some of your, if it's a first timer who's never been to Vegas, what are some of your top hits without giving away everything? Because you have a brand new book, which we need to get to that too. It's 100 things to do in Las Vegas, which that was probably kind of easy. I think there's plenty 100 things to do.
There were definitely thousands of things to do. So the tough part was packing 100 in there. And of course, I say 100 things to do, but really I've added tons more. There may be two times that in there with curated list of things and grouping things together by different, types of experiences. So there's way more than 100 things packed into the book. But what I really tried to do was, and why I wrote the book was to take away the overwhelm of coming to the city, where I can easily share with you Las Vegas, curated by themes like sports and recreation or entertainment, food and restaurants, or seasonal. We also categorize by seasonal activities, or by history, and so there's a lot to do, or family activities. So it's kind of breaks it down into an easier way to look up things that you want to do. And it's also, there's just way more than the Strip. The Strip is an amazing place, but there's so much more to Las Vegas than that. Nevada is such a beautiful state. We have lots of natural wonders like Red Rock Canyon or Valley of Fire that's only like an hour away. So there's just tons of wonderful things to do. Some of my favorites I just mentioned would be off the Strip, and our natural wonder would be Red Rock Canyon. Like friends and I go and hike there, walk the trails. It's just beautiful all times of year, especially in winter because we have subtropical temperatures. So that's a wonderful time to be able to head out there, and you feel like you're going to start in a coat and then you're like peeling that off
Right.
as you're out there right early in the morning, and it's
Yeah.
just breathtaking. The red rocks, the mountains, the desert landscape. It's just a wonderful place. There's wild burros or horses that roam around there. So that's one of my favorites. And then, like, just on the Strip, something that people might not even think of Vegas for, it's like the Zen moment. Like, one of my
Yeah.
favorite things to do, my birthday's coming up about a week. And
Cool.
I think I'm going back to the spa because we have some of the best spas in the world here.
Yeah.
um, and we have really state of the art like spa experiences inside each day spa in Las Vegas. So like one of my favorites is at one of our newest hotels, the Fountain Blue. They have this like snow flurries attraction or I guess experience, I should say, that's in there where you go into this like kind of like a sauna kind of room, but of course it's a cold room, not hot. The floor is heated and you press the button and snow flurries come down on you for a gentle, like cold experience. And then the snow melts down on the heated floor. It's just amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so it is a wow,
Yeah,
right?
that is a wow.
It is. And, all in snow in Las Vegas. So it's just, we have some of the most incredible experiences on the planet. And those are the types of things that I love to share in the book, the things that you just wouldn't expect
Yeah.
in the glitz and the glam of Las Vegas.
Right. And those little hidden gems kind of do get kind of, there's just so much and there's only so much bandwidth for you taking in what you're hearing, and you go to the
Yeah.
hotel and, but yeah, any trip you have, I think you could pick a theme and come to Vegas and create an experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's something for everyone. Even, my grandkids come here and they have the time of their lives, because we're a desert, but we are like the pool capital of, the pool
Yes.
destination for vacations. And so like we will pool hop with them, around the Strip and off the Strip, from our neighborhood. We have a beach in our neighborhood. So
Oh,
from like our
cool.
neighborhood, yeah, man-made beach, of course, from our
Right, but
neighborhood
still.
beach, yeah, to just pools where you can go and rent a cabana and get like a private glass pool at some hotels. So there's so much to do. Area 15 is an amazing place for kids and adults where they have so much kind of like AI kind of simulated experiences, and it's kind of like a rave kind of view when you come in because everything's dark with just the neon lights, but you can do like kind of like a simulated golf experience. You can ride the simulated Grand Prix and feel like you're on the F1 track, going around the Vegas Strip. And there's like a Mega Mart, the Meow Wolf experience, which is again so fun whether you're a kid or adult. So there's just so many family friendly experiences here. Like we have farms that I don't think a lot of people know about where you can go feed animals or take a
Right.
hayride, but this is all in literally in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even think about the farms. To me, that's like,
Right.
yeah, because it's like we're in the middle of the desert. We're this little oasis, and I think
Right.
that's the other thing is like there is some history here. I mean, I was just looking up. I mean, the strip didn't really start being built until the 1930s. So as far as history, we're a pretty new city, but there's always new things coming and changing, which I'm sure that's a challenge with writing a book like this.
Yes, honestly, fun tip is I made changes down to like the last look that the publisher gave me because one of the our pools, which are called are called day clubs here.
Right.
So one of the day club experiences, the name changed. So
Oh,
Vegas is so dynamic. We are ever changing. We are a city of first. So we're always pushing the envelope, doing the next biggest thing in entertainment, in food, in shows, and so kind of keeping my finger on the pulse of that because of course, there are things that are always going to change, but I just want it to be the most up to date and current when this book was, released, so that it was, just super timely. So going down to the strip is really helpful for me as a Vegas, travel blogger and of course an author now because that just definitely keeps my finger on the pulse of what's happening in the city, what's new. There's a billboard for everything. So like
right.
what's new, what's going on, what's changed. And I really also just love that about living here.
Yeah, and tell people where to find your blog too, because that might be a good place if you're coming to Las Vegas to reach out to Shaunda and find out, if you have a theme or if there's a reason you're coming or you love food or the drinks. Shaunda's going to have probably some updated info because even restaurants or what they're offering or these pop-ups happen and, on a given weekend, like there's a vintage mart or there's an art market or things like come and go. So, what is your blog and where can people find you?
Absolutely. And my blog definitely covers all the things to do in Las Vegas. And it's 100, or excuse me, that's my book, 100 Things to Do in Las Vegas Before You Die is the book. But the blog is vegasrightnow.com. And we try to be like exactly what it says, Vegas right now. So if there's, kind of a pop up attraction that's really popular, we want to make sure to cover that. Like I try to get out there and experience all the things so that I can come back and give you an insider's look at, what this is going to look like. If you go to the Spear, what kind of bag can
Yeah.
you bring in there? So all kinds of things that you may not think about as a tourist coming to our city, but that I want to try, and get that inside scoop for you to make your trip that much easier and effortless and that you can just really enjoy the experience of being here.
Yeah, exactly. Budget wise, what are some tips for people? Because Vegas can be really expensive to do some of those, big experiences like the Sphere. I mean, it's something that
Right.
you got to do. You may really want to come and see a particular music act. I mean, I think the Eagles have been there. I think it is at Dead and Companies. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of who's coming
They're
and
both still
going.
there,
Yeah.
right? Right. Yeah, we have Backstreet Boys there now coming, so it's a lot of fun at the Spear. So yeah, budget wise, I offer actually when you go to my website vegasrightnow.com, you can actually sign up to receive my 3 day Vegas itinerary, which sets you up for success. Where I literally tell you like day by day, step by step, like eat breakfast here, then go here, then go to lunch here, and so on. And why I do that, because like for example, one of the days, I totally recommend going to Spear. One affordable way to do it is it's free to see Spear, that you can walk right up, on it, take pictures. It's massive, it's huge, it's extraordinary, it's the first of its kind, it's all the things that are out of this world. And then, of course, to get inside, there's a fee to get inside, but whether it's a concert or just the Spirit, what they call the Spirit experience, where it's the postcard from Earth show, which is a really wonderful movie just about Earth and taking care of our planet. Uh, it's a great place to visit. And so, with that said, like it's a little pricey to go to Spear,
Yeah.
but you can do other things like stop by one of my favorite restaurants, like the Peppermill, and have lunch there and do it during happy hour or dinner during happy hour where they have the most amazing wings, like some of my favorite on the whole strip, but they're at a happy hour price. There's a great happy hour menu there, but there are just ways that I try to make the experience memorable for sure, but also, affordable for you at the same time. So you can do some of the bigger things that you want to definitely go home
Yeah.
and brag about, and have that
Right.
experience under your belt, but while also not breaking the bank on every meal that you eat. And a great thing, like I share how we have Michelin star meals in some of our food courts in Las Vegas
Yes.
on in some of the
Oh,
hotels on
yeah.
the strip. So that's just another way that you can experience like fine dining at more of a food court type price. We're just a city that's really tuned in to the best in cuisine and the best in entertainment and shows. So again, there's something here for everyone, even if it's dinner and a show, which is another probably more affordable way to
Right.
experience entertainment, but also combine that meal that you need. That Vegas is just the place for that.
Yeah, exactly. And I love happy hour. That's like I actually have
Right.
a list. I mean, there are some great ways to sample some amazing food. But you just got to know what time to get there. Because
What
I've
time to get
actually,
there?
yeah, exactly. Because sometimes if you get there like 10 minutes late, you've missed all the great pricing and you're like,
Right.
so you need to get Shauna's little outline so she could, because it is, I think it is, Vegas can be a place that's overwhelming, literally.
Absolutely.
And you can
Absolutely.
you can miscalculate. You know, you look on, everybody thinks, oh, the strip is walkable. Well, it isn't, it isn't. I mean, things are a lot
100%.
spread out a lot more than you can imagine.
Yes. And with that said, some of our really popular posts are what to wear in Las Vegas. And I break it down by month. So, like what to wear in January, what to wear in February, because where we do enjoy subtropical temperatures, which is one of the reasons that I love living here and we decided to live here. It's such an easy place to vacation. It's such an easy place to have as a wedding, a
Yes.
destination wedding.
Oh,
We're the
yeah.
wedding destination capital of the world. Well, it's because it's always a picturesque time to get married here or to take a vacation here. We rarely get rain. I think you and I know it was like 220 days, and
Yes.
we just got rain. Was it last week
It
before
was like,
last?
yeah, a couple weeks ago in February. It was
Right.
like,
It was like after 200 and some days of not having it. So it's almost like that song, It Never Rains in Southern California. It never rains in Las Vegas.
yeah.
So it's like always easy to plan a trip here and to do an outdoor activity or have an outdoor, experience. So with that said, I like to break down like what to wear by month. And like we also on my site, I break down what the weather is like by month. And one of the things that is kind of a constant throughout all the months is comfortable shoes.
Yes.
Because April, yes, to your point, April, that the strip, when you get to the airport, you'll look out and, when you arrive, you can see the strip. You can see like, the Luxor and the pyramid,
Yes.
that's a pyramid
Yeah.
hotel. You can see the beautiful hotels and everything looks like, oh, you're right on top of it right there. And no, it takes probably about 15 minutes, even though it's close, but it's really not, like it takes a
Right.
little, not far, but it takes a minute just with traffic, navigating the streets to get to your hotel, even if it's on the strip. And then when you're on the strip, let's say you're in the Luxor and you walk out of your hotel, it's a lot. It's a really, extreme hike to get to like let's say Bellagio in the or Caesars in
Yes.
the center of the strip. So Ubers are definitely your friend. Uber and
Definitely.
taxi and comfortable shoes. I encourage anyone who wants to walk the strip because you really don't need to rent a car per se unless you're like leaving the strip. It's definitely walkable, but just not in the short period of time that your eyes may trick you to think that, it's going to be a 5 minute walk from this hotel to that hotel. But the fun thing about it is it's okay because there's so much to see along the way. There's so much to experience. And before you know it, you've walked, you start in the day and now you're at night, but you've experienced so many of the various hotels and entertainment complexes along the way. And every hotel has its own personality, which is the real fun part about experiencing Las Vegas.
I think so too. Like if you're going to come multiple times, I would suggest picking a different hotel to stay in just to kind of get that different experience.
Yeah, that's how we did it. And we would even, I've stayed at most of the hotels on the strip because in coming for 20 years, that's just what we did is
Yeah.
we would pick a different hotel. And sometimes we would hotel hop where we might start like 2 days here and then we do 3 days there. So that was a
That's
really fun
smart.
way. Yeah, it kind of breaks up the trip and you get to experience the different hotels because again, this one has this attraction, this one has that attraction. They all have their own kind of themed personality, and it's a fun way to curate your favorites also.
Yeah, exactly. So when you were researching the book, was there any place that kind of was surprising, unexpected to you?
Ah, one of my so a lot of places I knew just from coming here so much, and that I really wanted to get those featured in the book. Um, but let's see, surprising places. Hmm, that's a tough one because I feel like I just kind of knew so much about the city already. Um, well, I'll say one of the surprising things that are in the book are going to be that there are secret places. And
Oh,
so
okay.
that's a lot of fun beyond the speakeasies that you may, have may or may not have heard about in Las Vegas. There are also secret hotels that we have on the strip. I don't know if other cities do that or not, but it's
That's
definitely a
true.
Vegas thing.
Yeah, it is
Yes.
a Vegas thing there, and they are
Hmm.
there, and they have
They are
their
there.
own like entrance, their own like elevator. Yeah, and they're kind of hidden. You have to know about them,
Right. They're kind of hidden right in plain sight. Like you
right?
literally can be in a hotel and you didn't know that the entrance on this side takes you to a whole nother secret level of that hotel. So our speakeasies are fun that way. We have the hotels hidden inside the well-known hotels. And then one of my favorites that I didn't know about, but it's just one of my favorite kind of secret places that I love to take people to when we are just venturing out around the strip is in Resorts World. It's the disco party bathroom, which is weird because I'm like not even, I'm like a public bathroom germaphobe, but
Yeah,
this is one of my
right,
favorite places, which is crazy. But it's just like the ultimate experience. Like even if you don't go potty and you just go in there, like
right.
it's got at least 100 disco balls inside this bathroom, like
Oh
hanging
my
from the ceiling.
gosh.
So it's just a super fun place that you could totally miss if you didn't know about it and you were in Resorts World's hotel. But if you know about it, you definitely want to stop there. It's just one of the most Instagrammable places on the strip, in my opinion. It's a really fun spot.
No, that sounds really fun. Yeah. I mean, and who would think like inside a bathroom, you're right, that it's really amazing and cool. So now I got to go
It's
check that out.
you have to check it out. It's an only in Vegas thing. And then, of course, I'm still thinking of like new, different things. So, one of the fun things that I can remember definitely learning and writing the book and my research was about Vegas Vic and Vicky, which I knew Vegas Vic and Vicky by appearance, like exactly where they
Right.
were, but they have a really fun love story. So, when you get the book, you'll have to uh, go to the index and check out Vegas Vic and Vicky, but they are one of our iconic couples in Las Vegas.
Oh.
And I also tell you where to go to make sure that you snap a picture with each of them while you're here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love that. You gotta get Shonda's book for all these hidden tips.
Yes.
But it's
We love a
true.
good love story.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that surprised me actually too when I moved here and realized that Vegas is the wedding capital of the world. I mean, during
Right.
Valentine's week, I think they had you could get married right in the airport at Vegas. I mean, what other airport does that, you know?
You took the words out of my mouth. Who else does this? Right. It's crazy. And even during our the first year, and they might have done it the second, but I just remember seeing it on the news. And I wrote a little bit about it. But on the first year, the inaugural year of our Las Vegas Grand Prix with the F1 race,
Oh yeah.
they had a wedding venue at the what is it, the pit building where all the cars go to like fuel up and rev up,
Right.
like the yeah. So there was a wedding. There's a wedding venue with this big like neon heart, so you could get married at the F1 pit stop building.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, incredible. And I highly encourage people too to like go into all of the hotels because there's hidden little corridors. They all look different. Go down to Fremont Street. I mean, it seems like I always discover something new just when I'm out and about. There's
A-
artwork and shops and
Absolutely. Whereas I think that I know all things Las Vegas. That's not true. Like there's oh, I know a lot, but there is always something new. So this city absolutely keeps me on my toes, and I just love it for that also.
are there certain publications, and I think you had a chapter on it too, about publications and websites. I mean, if you do a Google search, it's kind of, again, overwhelming. I can't imagine. You must spend hours just trying to keep up on what's happening.
Yeah, the easiest way, of course, I do include like our newspapers to definitely read our local newspapers and support them here in the book. So that's one way. And just like any news media outlet now, most of our magazines and our newspapers are also online, which is helpful. Um, but yeah, I guess the best way I should say that I stay informed is by just being present. I have a saying for myself, which is always take the meeting. And so I kind of consider Vegas always inviting me to,
Right.
come out and play and to, head out, whether it's on the strip, off the strip, to our natural wonders. But that, like I said, there's always something new, even in places that really stay the same, like some of our natural wonders. There's always going to be an outdoor festival or an
Right.
event. So we're always just, revving up for something new and different, even in evergreen places here. And that's just what I love about living in Las Vegas, that there's never a shortage of things to do. And this being one, I come from Virginia Beach, so all the way on the other coast there, on coastal Virginia. Virginia Beach is the city where I was born and raised. And living in Las Vegas, this big metropolitan city here, I've never felt so more community than I have living here. I have so many groups that I belong to, and just new friends here. Then we do things in groups and in community. So it's also one very special part about living in the city.
Yeah, I think so too. There is a lot of community among the residents that do live here. We find each other, and everyone's from, I mean, it's hard for me to find someone that's actually like born and raised here. Everyone came here
Right.
from somewhere else, but
Yeah.
a lot of creative people here. I mean, it never failed. There's a lot of authors. There's a lot of, like we were talking about food. If you love food, there's always a lot of, chefs and restaurants and pop-ups. And I think we
Oh
have food
gosh.
festivals too that, I mean, it's
We
like,
do. Yeah, we have all the things. We have Netflix bites now on the
oh
strip,
yeah. Have you been and checked
which
it
is
out?
fun. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's on my list. I get company all the time because now we live in Las Vegas, so
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
always coming. Yeah, and I love to receive them because that's like kind of selfishly. I have a list when they come of all the things that I like want to do so I can write about them. And so when people come to town, like I race them around to all the new things that are happening in Las Vegas. So it's kind of like business and pleasure where I'm having a
Yeah.
good time with them and get to show them off our fantastic city. But I'm also like selfishly getting work done by going to all
Right.
these
Well, yeah,
places so that
exactly.
I can, yeah, cover the story and write about them. So coming soon, Netflix bites is here, but I do want to, for me, it's coming soon where I will be there to tell you more about it very soon.
Ah, that's amazing. And I can't even think there's all kinds of things for, if you like, as we've talked about music, if you're coming for, events. I think the big tip that you probably share as well is planning ahead a little bit because the longer you plan ahead, you'll probably be able to better budget your money, I think.
Oh yeah, I find that folks that even come to my site on vegasrightnow.com that they are like they'll be looking at what to do or what to wear in May because they're planning ahead. So people have started to pick that up. I offer a Las Vegas travel planner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a product that I offer because I do think that's best is to kind of write it down, like, do a little research or just simply subscribe and I'll tell you what to do for the first 3 days anyway. Like it
Yeah,
make your life
exactly.
a lot easier. So, but still, that is a plan, and I think that's the best way to experience Vegas. Most people that come to see me are coming from the East Coast, which is where I'm from. So, one of the other things is remembering that there's going to be a time change where you're going to
Oh,
get
yeah.
tired a little bit earlier, because you may have come from a different time zone. So, kind of understanding things like that, those kind of insider tips that planning will help you with that because as we get late, you're going to get tired because it's like, 9 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock for us, but it's 9 o'clock, for you from the East Coast. Or just things like remembering we're in the desert, like, with
Yes.
all the neon glows that we have here, it is still the desert. And so
Right.
it gets really dry. So just remembering to hydrate,
Yes.
drinking plenty of water and bringing lots of like lotion or conditioner for your hair because it gets really dry here. So those are always some of my pro tips that I love to share with people, when they come here. Just those little small details that really can, allow you to have the best experience when you're in our city.
Yeah, most definitely. Because if you're not comfortable, and it is easy to get dehydrated, it just sneaks up on
Absolutely.
you. So just
Hmm.
carrying around your water bottle, and again, the lotion. You can't put on enough lotion, I don't
Not
think.
here, not in the desert, right?
Yeah.
Not in the desert. And our sun is just different. Whereas that's one of my favorite things about living here. I actually love heat, so it's like it's fitting that I moved to the desert.
Yeah.
But our sun is a different kind of sun than when I lived in Virginia Beach at the sun at the beach. So our sun is very intense. So SPF, you want to have that sunblock, a hat,
Yeah.
sunglasses are a must all throughout the year. So they're just things that people don't necessarily realize. But I've made it my mission to make sure that you have the best time when you come here with those really small and tangible details that are just gonna, put that cherry on top of your experience.
Right. And then, in other travel shows too, I always talk about packing. I mean, leave room in your suitcase because I think there's so many cool shops in Las Vegas. So if you like to shop, and I'm sure Shaunda has suggestions in her book for that too. I mean, leave space or bring stuff that you don't mind leaving behind so that you can take back some cool stuff. I mean, fashion wise, I mean, we have like everything here. You can find everything. So,
Yes, we have everything. I was just talking to some gals I met in one of the speakeasies we were hanging out on the strip, and we're also the convention capital of the world.
yes.
So just in February, I've been to a few conventions, and the year's just started, and talking to other folks that were in town just for conventions. People come here just to shop our designer stores,
Oh, yeah.
because it's I live in Virginia Beach. We do not have a Louis Vuitton store. We don't have a Gucci store. We don't have these types of
Right.
stores that you can just say, I'm going to walk in and grab that kind of bag today. And so people make it a part of their trip to come to Las Vegas and as part of the whole experience to get that high end designer item that, they've been watching or waiting for. And they come here and purchase it. It's really fun to purchase it in the store, to touch it, feel it, to walk out
Yeah.
with the designer bag, to
Right.
have that whole experience. So that is a big part of Las Vegas. We also have amazing outlets, if you just don't want to pay the full designer price. So again, there's just definitely something here for everyone.
Agree. Most definitely. Yeah, I would say so. So, what are some last tips if people want to reach out and find you, Shaunda? This has been amazing. I think we could talk about Vegas for hours because there's just, like I said, there's so much to do here all the time.
All the time. Yeah. So for people, I love when people reach out. Again, my signature site is my name. It's ShaundaNecole.com. And my name's spelled different. So it's ShaundaNecole.com. So ShaundaNecole.com. On that site, it kind of anchors out to all the things because I run three different sites, a Soul Food Southern website,
Oh,
my Vegas website, and then just my signature site. And then, of course, the book, 100 Things to Do in Las Vegas Before You Die. It's definitely the travel companion that you want to have. It's small enough for you to like take it around with you, pop it in, put it in your bag, pull it back out on this trip. But I give some of my best insider tips, and the book is full of literally it says tips like on each experience,
yeah.
but it's full of my insider tips on how to have the best experience at any of the attractions or natural wonders or Vegas things to do around. And a lot is on the strip, off the strip. We just have so much in store for every person that comes here. There's just so much to experience.
Yeah, oh, I totally think so. And I think it's a great book if you're planning a trip to get it ahead of time and have it on the plane while you're coming in and you can tag little details, flag the things if you weren't sure,
Right.
and add them into your trip. You got to leave time to relax, of course, but we all know that, a lot of times if you're coming for a conference, you want to also fit in some new things and have
Oh
some
yeah.
fun.
I've met some people who have been to Vegas multiple times and have really got this down packed. Like, whereas I'll be at the spa and there are ladies from the convention there, whereas they know I'm at a convention and they're here for work, but they make time to unwind, and have a better experience while they're here. So yeah, I also think it's fun to like take the book and when you get to the different places, have someone sign it there, like,
Oh,
kind of use it as a passport experience that you're accumulating the Vegas things to do. I think I read a comment earlier today on my social media, which is Shaunda Necole or stop not Shaunda Necole.com at Shaunda Necole is who I am on Instagram, and we also started a new fun channel on Instagram, and on TikTok, which is 100 Things to Do in Las Vegas. And someone wrote there earlier today that they were on their ninth trip, that they
oh,
had gone to one of my favorite spots. We'd posted about the Neon Museum, which is a must see museum when you come to town. And it's a family friendly experience. And they mentioned that they did it on their ninth trip. So I gave them like an epic idea for their 10th time when they come back to the city. But it's really fun to hear folks say that they've been here 9 and 10 times. It just reminds me of myself and my husband when we were coming here. And maybe those people will decide to be one of the 3 million, almost 3 million people like you and I who actually live here
yes.
also.
Yeah. But it is, it's a great city. And I think with our airlines, you can always find a cheap flight. We have
Right.
Spirit flies into Las Vegas. I mean, there's a lot of small airlines, look at your city and, see Allegiant is another one. I think
Yeah.
Breeze now. I mean, there's a lot of airlines that have certain days for probably 20 to $30 at different times of the year from different cities or maybe less. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. My social media manager is coming in from Austin, Texas for my book launch party coming up. And we got her an amazing price, from Texas to Las Vegas. So, and Breeze is one of my favorite, the new airlines. They offer the business class, the first class at amazingly affordable prices. So, yeah, there's just everyone's trying to get you into Vegas and they'll
right.
make it affordable for you.
Which is good because you
Right.
can spend the money on the food or drinks or shopping or any of the other
Yes,
amazing things.
absolutely. You can spend the money and create that really epic experience and come here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s like the
Yes.
young lady I just messaged on Instagram. Absolutely.
Yeah, and even if it's summer, I mean, I know some people, it does get hot in Las Vegas, but again, we have so much of the swimming pools and everything's air conditioned. I mean, you really can enjoy Vegas as well into the summer too. And it
You
can be a
can.
little bit more affordable, I would imagine, too, during the summer.
Yeah, we are probably cabana capital of the world too. I kind of just made that one up, but it's a thing like that during pool season, which has just started. And we're one of the unique travel destinations where pool season runs from March, ends in November. So cabanas are the thing here. I've been at the pool literally on an 118-degree day, and just
Wow.
stay in the pool. It's a great day.
Yeah,
It's a great day in Las Vegas.
exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly.
So you need a cabana and you just stay in the pool and you go from pool back to your cabana. And our cabanas are typically like sometimes air conditioned, sometimes mostly with a fan in there that you can actually do a 118 day
That
and
is
it's like nothing.
amazing.
Yeah. And just stay hydrated. Just ask your waitress to keep the waters coming. And so it is very possible where you'll have an amazing day.
Yeah, and if you come to Vegas, get Shonda's book, and I'm sure she would love to see all your photos posing around Las Vegas or talk to people, talk to a lot of the people that work in Vegas. We're always willing to share with people if they're coming, like places to go, where do we eat? I mean, just
Oh,
ask.
absolutely.
I always
Yeah.
advise people to ask.
Just ask. The people here are so friendly, because folks are from everywhere. So we get it. We didn't start here ourselves for most people. Like you said, it's hard to find a true
Yeah.
local who was like born and raised here. But also, yeah, on my website on vegasrightnow.com, I have an events page where I will be going around to different places within the city. So if you're in town, check out one of the events. I'd love to sign your book, meet you, answer a question for you in person. I know we have Vegas Valley Winery coming up towards the end of the month as one of our first events, and they're a really amazing
Wow.
place, the first winery in the Las Vegas Valley. So it's a place that you've got to add to your list, and I'm so excited to be able to have a signing there. So yeah, please come see me if you're in town. I'd love to meet you and chat with you and learn what you love about this amazing city also.
Thank you so much, Shauna. Check out shaundanicole.com. grab the 100 Things to Do, and you have a copy. You should hold it up.
Yes, thank you. Yes, here's the book. I've waited so long. I feel like it's my new baby. It was like
Right.
like a baby, a 9 month process to get her out. So yes, she is here, and I'm so excited that she's here, and can't wait for everyone to be able to have and hold her also.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Shauna. And check out her book, 100 Things to Do in Las Vegas.
Thanks for having me, April.